What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's me, Mukala. I'm in the secret location here, just secret location because this week there's no new episode of After the Whistle this week because we got some stuff to do. Mainly, I got to do some stuff. So, no new episode this week, but we do have the special episode of the In Sports Huddle that was filmed on Sunday in Lowell with the host Joe Dub, Wave Radio Boston. I was on as a special guest co-host, and also on was Anthony Petrelis of the Beyond Podcast, talking Malden Catholic Boys basketball team and his documentary on that. So it was a great time up there in Lowell. So check this out, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, everybody, what's going on? It's another Sunday. Little bit delayed in our start. Little delayed because we had some business to take care of. But it's your host, Joey B, and I am excited to be here because I got the dream team in the house. I have my guy to my right, Mukala. What's up, Mook?
What's going on? How are you? I'm glad to be back.
I'm doing great, man. You're recovering after a busy winter.
Man.
How many gyms? How many miles?
So many miles, so many gyms.
How many people sit next to you in empty gyms?
Oh, it was fun. But
Can we get it to the Baja?
One more time to the Baja.
To the Baja!
To the Baja. We're going to bring this to the Baja.
Oh, I love it. Hashtag to the Baja. And I got my guy here to my left, just doing so much for local sports and stories, his content. But we have him in studio. Anthony Petrelis, Beyond Podcast. Yeah, what's going on, Anthony?
What's going on, guys? Glad to be here. I love being here, and we have a good crew here tonight, so it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we do, man. I'm just winding that down, but so we actually have this. We're gonna do some different things here. We got Mook with After the Whistle.
Yeah,
in New England Football Journal. He's bringing in the technical savvy, so we're gonna have maybe some video clips, maybe later on throughout the week as we do this. And I just want to just let folks know if you want to text in, ask any questions. We're wrapping up this winter season. We got some of the guys here who captured it. Obviously, Mook did it all over the state pretty much with his high school coverage, boys and girls basketball. And then I have Anthony, who probably created one of the greatest documentaries. And I've watched a lot of documentaries, but your documentary on Malden Catholic basketball was great.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
So great job, and how you guys did it, you and John. I know Jonathan Sensabaugh, and you put this thing together, and it just came out great. It didn't end, obviously, the way everybody wanted to.
We all thought it was going to, anyways, from covering them.
I was like, it is so hard to win, and how many years they did it in a row.
Yeah.
And, they just met. It's all about matchups. It's all about matchups, right?
They just met a team that was focused on beating them. That was pretty much it. That team was laser focused on beating them.
Well, Mook, they had everything that, to match up with them. They had ball handlers. They had the ability to, pressure when what do they say? Pressure creates diamonds.
Yeah.
And they got pressure, but those guys shown with the diamonds, when they were beating the dribble and making the nice pass to their big man.
There's something I haven't seen nobody do in 4 years, and they made Matt Gaffney a complete non-factor. I've never seen Matt Gaffney not be a factor in a game. And last weekend he was a no factor.
Yeah.
None. And when he got his shots, nothing was going in. Nothing was going in. So that probably,
that's frustrating.
Tough way to end a career for a player like him, but it's just, that's basketball for you. Some days it's just not your day.
Well, we're watching March Madness, and is there a better time of year than March Madness?
Oh man, I love March Madness.
I'm sorry guys, but Thursday afternoon I set my schedule, my business. Thursday at 12, I'm going to be doing some emails and stuff, but I'm watching 4 games. and I have the multiple. I don't know, Mook, what is your setup like? Multiple TVs?
No, I just flip channels.
You just flip the channels
Yeah,
on your channel.
Old school way, dude.
Yeah,
Old
I
school
don't know how folks could with the multiple split screens, and I can't do all that. I just need one. I'll flip channels.
Or you have them all on that. They have that new app, the streaming feature where you have all the games on one screen.
Yeah,
And it's like, how can I focus on that? That's ADD to the crazy level, right?
It's too much work for my eyes.
But we're just hanging out, guys. We're going to be talking some, obviously the wrap up of the season. We're going to play some music. We're going to see what's going on in the future. By all means, you can text in, ask any questions. I want to, obviously, we're going to talk more in depth about, the leagues, the season, anything that you want to talk about. But really, we're just hanging out here. We kind of came in a little late on the back end of, it happens sometimes. Life gets in the way, business gets in the way. So we started a little later here this evening. But, hey, let me ask you guys a question. Do you like the way the Mass State tournament is run? Do you like the fact that they still do this 1 through 32, or, well, let's be honest, it's 1 through 32 plus whoever makes it. There's a lot of playing games, and then they're all over the state. Do you like it how it is now, or do you like it how it was before when you had regional finals and then you met for the state championship?
I don't mind it. I like it.
You like it?
I like it. The only thing I would change I think state championships, it's the venue that wants to host you. But the only thing I would change for the state championship is put it somewhere in the middle.
Can we put it in the Garden?
That's it's
hockey's getting the Garden, and basketball gets the Songus.
Yeah.
And I'm a Lowell guy, and obviously it's great when they're down the street.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, there's something means playing in the Garden means a whole heck of a lot more than playing at Songus.
The kids definitely want to play at the Garden.
Yeah.
And and then with that being said, can we find the way to do it? You know what I mean? Can we find a way to make it so everybody can play there?
Right, and it's that cutoff date for the winter sports too. So that's one of the tricky things, because they have to have the hockey and the basketball state championships running at the same time. But if it was a way where they had the hockey state finals a week before the basketball state finals, they probably could make it work. But yeah.
Yeah, what do you think, Anthony? What's your thoughts?
I'm not as familiar with, say, the basketball playoff system, how it's run. I look at football, and I think sometimes a struggle. It's cool to have teams play each other from all over the state.
Right.
I think sometimes it's difficult when you get those kind of lower tier teams in, like some teams that maybe back into the playoffs, at least in the football world, 2 or 3 wins. In basketball, I know you got to get 10, but some matchups it's just kind of blowouts in the first round when you kind of look through. You might have a game that's close, you might have an upset, sure, but statistically and mathematically, it seems like the first round teams are just blowing other teams out of the water. So, I don't know if you shrink it. I don't know if you do something like that, but I do like the format. I think traveling across state can be tough, I'm sure, getting on a bus, leaving school early to go travel 2 hours, maybe to play some team on the road. But
Mook was part of a game, Holland Tech. I was ready to say Burke again. Holland Tech had to play a team called Monument Mountain out of Great Barrington, Mass. They met at Worcester State. Who knows what time Monument Mountain left for that game?
Yeah, it was a 7 p.m. game.
I'm sure they left about 4, 3 o'clock, right after school. And, hey, they wound up winning, you know what I mean? And those are games where, before they would have only met in the final.
Right.
But now they're meeting in a semifinal. Now they're meeting in a does that our second round or something?
Right.
And that it gives the true. And as we've seen too, and you look at the state championships, we got state champions from all around the state. We got Somerset Berkeley,
right.
Division II. They're down there.
Hoosac Valley girls.
Hoosac Valley, right? They're right out there, and and Monument Mountain didn't win, but obviously they made the finals. And hey, we got a shout out. We did mention Josh Keelty was going to be on, and I hope I didn't butcher his last name, but Josh unfortunately had an emergency and couldn't make it in studio. We're hoping that we may be able to have him, if not on the phone tonight, maybe down the road. But we wish.
Shout out Coach Josh.
But we wish. That's a great story. And
also, since we're speaking about Georgetown, person that just bought the Celtics from Georgetown, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
$6.1
It's a
billion.
nice week for Georgetown.
right?
Well, you know what? Georgetown's a couple things. You know, Georgetown has been going through a lot. There's been overrides that have been trying to be passed for the schools, and they haven't got it. They say they're working at a disadvantage right now with less money, less ability to do things, and and I guess there's been a lot of back and forth in the town, and that's why Josh and a lot of people have mentioned it. Even Mark Lewis, shout out to Mark, who we communicate every once in a while, but he was basically saying that the town needed this more than you even know, and I think Josh even said that.
And also, well, since you mentioned that, now we gotta look ahead and see what's going to happen with them with the dismantling of the Department of Education. We'll see how that's going to affect them.
Well, that's going to be a whole state. It's going to
affect a lot of people. But
yeah, that's a whole other story. It's going to be more of a state. It's going to be states are going to be running their education, man. And let's be honest, not every state is running the same.
Actually.
Well, we have an educator here, a Millikan Award winner in Anthony Petrelis. We don't have to go too far off the tangent, but I mean those stories when you see when you hear stories about overrides not being passed and teachers, working and without a contract, and that affects the town, and that affects the teachers every day.
Right.
And for them to come together and move past that and find sports to kind of bring the whole town together. I think that's special. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I think anything that kind of unites a community or unites like a school system in time of, finances. I teach in Medford. They're going through an override. We just went through an override. Stoneham's currently going through that. So there's probably a lot of cities and towns that are doing that right now for many different reasons, but education probably being one of the bigger reasons. Yeah.
Yep. Didn't Gloucester go through something similar?
Oh, well, there were schools. Hey, there's some towns that don't have April vacation, even though they do, but they're going to be going to school through them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not nice, but what are you going to do?
That's tough. I mean, you got to get the days in before July. You figure it out.
Yeah. So, but hey, folks, we're gonna get back to some music. Text in line. Oh, we do have a question. You know what?
I got a question for you.
I don't know. This is from Gail Fiumara.
Yeah.
And she's got a question for you, Anthony.
What is that?
So the question is who is the best athlete or team that you think you've covered? And I'm assuming that's with Beyond Podcast.
Oh yeah, that's a great question.
And then the next question is from Jonathan Sensabaugh. Jonathan wanted to know if is it hard with working with such a handsome partner.
Yeah, I mean,
and he brings his own spoon to the hot fudge sundaes.
Yeah, he had his own metal spray, his own.
He brings his own
box.
spoon.
Yeah, he didn't mess around.
You're not messing around, Jonathan.
Yeah, it's really hard. I'll start with the second question. It's really hard to work with a handsome guy like John. I mean, it's just all eyes on us when we walk in there. Some think because of the orange and black that we wear, but it's really because of the orange and black, but John's orange here too, I think also helps in that scenario. Nice. John's the best. Shout out John. I know he's listening. I know he texted that in, but he's the best to work with. So handsome as well.
Well, you guys are doing great things together, and I'm excited to see what you got going on in the future. And then the next question, we got to answer that too.
Yeah, we got to answer that. I mean,
is it hard?
I would say. Matt Gaffney being one of them, university, going to the Naval Academy. I mean, outstanding basketball player, maybe one of the best in the state, if not the best. I would say Justin Marino at Medford it was sensational. Football, basketball, all-around athlete. We've been covering him forever.
And he's going to Endicott, right?
He's going to Endicott. I would say Sid Tidsley, to me, is probably, I would say, number one overall. I mean, the resume speaks for itself. Is a competitor, wins when he needs to win, shines in the big moments.
When you look at a definition of winner,
God,
and you see what he did.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a legend. I think
when you're deemed as the greatest wrestler.
Yeah.
People already considering you as the greatest wrestler in state history.
Right.
Yeah.
And statistically, football-wise, when you look at his numbers over a career, I don't think you'd find too many other people that are close to that.
And I mean, the biggest thing too, guys, is like Sid Sid will tell you too. I mean, he's a pretty humble kid. He's not the biggest kid. All right, there's a lot of big kids out there, but what he does on the football field and what he was able to do, if you're talented and you got speed and you got talent, you can do it at any level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously he's excited right now. I think he's still narrowing down his decision for where he's going.
Take your time.
Yeah, there's no rush in that game.
You know what I mean?
But
that's great. Yeah, I'd have to say, I mean, and we're hoping to have those guys in soon. How about that? How about the kid from Oklahoma State? I don't know if you follow wrestling, but the greatest upsets probably in the history of Gable Stevenson. Was it Gable Stevenson?
Yeah, former WWE wrestler too. I think Gabe Stevenson wrestled or did a stint.
Well, he's an Olympian.
Yeah,
he's a gold medalist.
Yeah.
And he went to and he wrestled in the NCAA championship, thinking it was just going to be another title. And this kid from Oklahoma State, had his number. And hey,
Sports.
The
sports for
I think he came out with WWE a few times too after being the Olympic gold medal.
I think he. Well, you're my wrestling.
Yeah, he was out there. I don't think he's there anymore, but he was a small stint there. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he's actually a kid they've been pegging for either playing football, because I think he's already signed a deal with the Bills.
Yeah.
Come and see what he might have, or probably go WWE, or go MMA.
I mean, he'd probably be a great tackler. Teach him how to play a defensive position.
Well, that's the thing. We had a guy in New England, Stephen Neal.
Yeah.
Stephen Neal did not play collegiate football. He wrestled.
Stephen Neal, I believe, and we can fact check me here, but I think he's the only person who ever beat Brock Lesnar collegiatly in wrestling.
Oh wow!
I think that could be a fact.
I need to look that up.
I will.
Look that up.
I think it is a fact.
Okay.
I was told that a long time ago.
Wrestled.
When he first signed with the Patriots, that was like his big claim to fame. Was he was the only person to beat Brock Lesnar.
I mean, you got to be an athlete to go, hey, you know what? I know you never played collegiately in football, but hey, we're going to have you come play for the Patriots, and we just believe that you have the ability to translate that into football.
Yeah,
that's a special freak, right?
And he did it for a while.
He did it well, and he did it for a while. And
Stephen Neal did beat Brock Lesnar.
There we go. There we go.
It's crazy.
Hey, we're going to get back to some music. I want to play a song by a guy that, we bring up people that, I've had the pleasure of having on my show. And Anthony and I are great friends. And when I feel like there's someone that makes sense to go and talk more about what you're doing, what he's doing on your show, I have him come on. And that's what it's all about. We want to put people out there. And Ben Durand is just an amazing guy. Played football at Tingsboro, walked on and played quarterback at Auburn. He actually has a cool story too about how he had to appeal because they did not let him into Auburn. He appealed his judgment. So that's another thing, kids. If you listen in the show, if you do not get in, you can appeal and try to go to admissions and try to get in. And that's what he did.
Yeah, I should have done that when BU didn't accept me.
Yeah. You can appeal. I don't know if it's going to work all the time, but I'll tell you what, guys, listen. Ben Durand has a song called Beer League, and I know it's not football season, but this song, whether it's football, if it's your last time suiting up for your team, this track hits home. All right, we're going to come back after a couple songs and talk more. You listen to the All In Sports Huddle. Here's our guy, Ben Durand, who is in Nashville right now, right, Anthony?
He's right down there making music, doing his thing, living his dream.
All right, well, check this song out. This is called Beer League. You listen to the All In Sports Huddle. Hey, everybody. Live radio is why we do what we do here on Wave Radio Boston. It's the instant feedback from listeners, the ability to talk about news that's happening right at this hour. But that understanding that, we know that you can't listen to every minute of every show. So what we do is we make this show and past ones available for streaming. So just go to the show's link from our webpage, then click on your favorite show. From there, hit the show archives link and listen right from the comfort of the Wave Radio Boston webpage. No added apps or logins necessary. It's simple, it's easy, and it's rocking, and thank us for helping say FU to FM on Wave Radio Boston. And here we are. It's the All In Sports Huddle coming back after a very interesting song list there. I just want to make sure everybody knows we played Beer League by Ben Duran. Great song. And Anthony already has plans for senior nights. We're using that song next year.
Yeah, already in the works.
Football. Yeah. Let's get to Ben. Ben's going to sign that track over. No. And then after that, we played a couple songs by a band out of Texas called Blacktop Mojo, Where the Wind Blows. And then the Johnson Brothers on the Run. And for those of you that don't know, the lead singer of that band, he's done pretty well on his own, going solo. Chris Stapleton. He hasn't done too bad.
Not too bad.
So we're hanging out here talking about spring sports, wrapping it up. I got Mukala on my right, my guy Anthony Petrelis on my left, and hey Mook, let's just talk about the.
First, do you still have a perfect bracket?
No, hell no. My bracket got busted. Probably, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm kind of stupid though. Like I was like, oh man, I really like Creighton. I think Creighton's gonna do something.
It looked like it.
Yeah,
they had the pieces. But.
Yeah, and they're saying this new NIL world of sports.
Yeah.
You don't see those big upsets, because it's like now money's talking, and it's like, well, the guys are going. The best guys are getting paid, and they're going where they want to go, and then the other guys are kind of like, well. We'll take you, but we'll see. I'd love to be. I mean, there was a couple. I told you, Mook. I told you, Drake. I told you and your brother, Drake. But Drake met a tough Texas Tech team. I have Texas Tech going pretty far still. I have them going into the Final 8.
There's some updates. Colorado State is up 37-30 on Maryland.
I have Colorado State going far. I have Colorado State going to the Sweet 16.
I was out last Saturday and I saw them playing like Boise State, I think, for their conference title, and they look good. I was like, man, this would be an interesting team to watch. And now to hear that they're up maybe Sweet 16 or 7, up 7.
That was that was a play-in game. Like those teams both needed it to get in.
Yeah.
Because they were saying both needed it. So New Mexico's playing tonight. I don't know how New Mexico's doing. I don't think they start yet.
They have not. They start at 8:40.
They started at 8:40, so a lot of good games on. I know that you guys are probably checking us in and out of here while we're on, but hey, let's do it. Let's just as much as we can. We're going to talk to get more specific about Malden Catholic, because obviously that story was in itself, a four-peat, just history in the making. Even what they, obviously they didn't win the state championship, but let's get into more of the state championships as a whole, because you spent a couple days at Songus, 3 days as a matter of fact.
3 days. I felt like a tenant there.
I was gonna say, I thought I saw your tent and pillow there.
Right. I should have brought one there, man.
What was your overall, if you had to take the best game and had to say, hey, the best games were, that Wachusett game looked like a barn burner.
There was a few games actually. To start off the night, to kick it off, Norwell and Old Rochester.
Yes.
Old Rochester had it. They had it. And then shout out to Ronan Coffey, made the shot. They get the offensive rebound, and he makes the shot, the 3-point shot to tie the game as time is expiring in regulation. It goes overtime.
Wow.
Old Rochester, they had a chance. They're only down 3. They had a chance. Got a good look, too. They just bounced a little bit in, and then they just went out. That's basketball, man. That was a good game.
They were 20 seed, right? Were they Little Rochester? They were high up there. So
they came. Yeah, they surprised a lot of people.
They almost made it. It could have been a good story, beating a number 1 seed and a number 2 seed. Almost did it, but Norwell 26-0. A season for them.
Wow.
And actually they had the girls too, right?
The girls lost, but the girls were in there.
But to have 2 teams, boys and girls, go to the state championships,
and the girls had a chance.
You got a program. You built a program over there.
Yeah, the girls had a chance, but they ran into St. Mary's girls, and Bella Owumi, the sophomore sensation, was the best player on the court that night. 19 points, low scoring game. It was anybody's game for a while, but St. Mary's pulled away late. They had players contribute, bench players contribute. They had all around team effort. So the first night set up a good weekend, and then we go to the next night. Man, it started off. Pioneer Valley got the blowout win, but then those games.
Yeah.
Somerset Berkeley, not Somerset Berkeley, I'm sorry, Georgetown and Monument Mountain. That was a really good game, man.
Yeah.
That was a Irvin Zapata, 7 3-pointers. Yeah, 6 in the first half, and yeah, it was just Georgetown season.
Hey, you know
it
what?
was just their season.
And that was a story of a team that we talked about once in a while, and it would be great to have Josh in eventually, but, that team didn't duck anybody. Matter of fact, they played teams well above their skill
They
level.
played Malden Catholic.
MC, yeah.
They played MC. It wasn't a good showing, but
They played MC during the Spartan Classic.
yep, they did. They beat Brookline in the Spartan Classic. That was a big win for them.
Yeah.
The MC game.
Because Brookline's D1 and they're D4.
Yeah, the MC game. They had a lead for a little bit. Because the MC punched them in the mouth early, but they bounced back. They had a lead for a little bit, but then MC was just the experience.
Yeah, and I think MC just, and that what MC does is their skill level. And one thing you see it in whether was watching, that was kind of neat to see in Beyond Podcasting, your documentaries, the skill level,
Yeah.
the way they work, how they work on their skill, how these guys, everybody, they can all handle the rock, you know what I
Yep.
mean? And that's what basketball is now, pretty much. I mean, you got to be able to handle the rock, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
definitely.
Whatever position you are.
Gotta be able to handle the
if
rock.
you even are a position, because some don't.
Got to be able to handle that rock. Got to be able to make open threes.
Yep.
That's the name.
Stretch
of
the
the game.
feet, stretch the court.
Yeah, but I think the game of the weekend was Wachusett and Bishop Feen. That was probably the game of the weekend. My goodness,
She's
talent.
that is 31 points. Who
Jalen Scott. She is a junior. She had a good game last year too.
she already got some big offers on the table.
I'm not sure. She might after that game,
Yeah,
but
after almost a triple double in the state championship.
Right, 31 points, 10 rebounds,
crazy.
man, and the go-ahead shot. It was.
Yeah, she knew what she was doing. When it was like she's like, I'm taking this to the rack.
That's
to the
what I
rack,
love.
to the Baja.
That's what I love. She knew what she was doing. She didn't overexert herself with over dribbling. She just got the ball. Couple dribbles, I'm going to the basket.
Mook, we
That
tell
was
them,
it.
take it to the Baja.
Especially in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter is all about layups and free throws. That's what
really
it is.
is.
So, but that was a hell of a game by both of those teams. Faheen had it almost the repeat almost happened, but it just didn't happen. But that was it. And then we closed it off with a good one with North and Franklin. That was a good way to close out.
Yeah, it almost made that.
evening.
He needed a little bit more time to get that because he kind of had to like at the end of the game. You saw them drove the ball up the court for him to get a really good release on that shot.
Yeah.
He didn't have time to release it.
No, and I was thinking that Tegan Swint was going to get that shot because he was in that fourth quarter. He started
firing, getting heating up.
Finished with 24, but Kate Sullivan was the player of the game that one. 31 points, made a lot of big baskets down the stretch when New and North was making their run. So I mean, hey, overall.
And then Paul Conley after that game, he announces, getting back to that New North Franklin game, Paul Conley, 24 years, just nothing but, almost titles or close to titles.
He got two.
But they're always tough.
Went to like 4.
Always tough.
Went to numerous Final Fours.
New North, how many Final Fours were they in with him? You know what I mean?
A lot. They had the 2022-2023 season. They probably had the most impressive postseason run that came up short.
Yeah.
Because they almost beat Worcester North in that semifinal. They almost beat them, but that was an impressive run they had that year.
And that's good coaching, man. The shot doctor, as we call him.
Yeah.
He has a shot machine that he also sold back in the days. I don't know if he's still doing it, but shout out to you, Paul. Great career.
Only thing I had issues with, well, not really. There was
I
just
have a good story about him.
Officiating.
Okay.
That was pretty bad. Officiating.
I was like doing fundraising, and when I was over New North, and he saw me in the gym, and I think I was cutting through the gym, and he was doing practice. I think it was before the tournament.
Yeah.
And he thought I was looking. He's like, "Hey, where are you?" He thought I was like scouting him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, funny.
Hardcore.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
Good guy, too. A really good guy.
Yeah, he ain't messing around.
No, he's not.
I said, I'm not a scouting coach. But let's talk a little about Beyond Podcast coverage of Malden Catholic. And you called, what was the name again? All for One? All for One, baby.
Yeah. I mean, it was great. Malden Catholic had reached out to us, November, maybe right before Thanksgiving, a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving.
Bill Raycraft,
great guy.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about an athletic director who bought into us like very early on. We were nobody. He was like listening to the podcast, episode 4 or 5, when I had one of his, girls basketball coaches on. And, Yeah, he's been a fan since, but he reached out about doing this documentary, kind of explain these guys won 3 state championships, looking to go for a 4th. They wanted to document that they felt like they had a pretty good team coming back and a realistic shot to do it. But it was fun. I mean, I'll tell you this, we covered a lot of programs. That is as close to a college-ran program as I've seen, as far as film preparation, being on the court, and how these kids work and their expectation. They're having practice where coaches afterwards are having conditioning practice, ball handling, shooting. They're in the gym for 2 hours after an hour and a half, 2 hour practice. They're in the weight room. They're switching back and forth. I mean, as close to a college program as we've covered. And it shows, obviously, the success that they've had and the consistency they've had.
And to the point where you have kids coming from all places because they want to be coached by the best. They want to play with the best because that only gets you better, right? We always say iron sharpens iron. But you had kids coming from like Ipswich.
Everywhere. And that was kind of it. We didn't really know how we were going to shape this documentary. It was kind of one of those things of, we do our videos of teams and highlights, and we didn't want it really to be kind of that. We wanted it to be something different and a different, part of our portfolio, I guess you could say. And we kind of felt it out, but the kids, like you said, that was kind of we kept coming back to that. Like, we had a pair of brothers, the Kamar brothers, who come from Salem every single day. Yep. You mentioned there's a kid that comes from Ipswich. You got kids coming from Charlestown. You got Gaffney's coming from Linfield. So these kids are coming from pretty far away. Yeah. And we all know Malden is not the most accessible. No. Like, there's not many major roads or highways where you take routes that get you there.
Well, you're taking some of them are taking the train, some of them are taking the bus.
Ubering, and it's a testament to those kids. And when we interviewed all of them, we ended up doing side videos for some of these kids. Yeah. We followed some around in school a little bit.
Momo.
Boo Boo.
Momo. Boo. Yeah. Boo. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, funny kid, and he loved it. He was like a celebrity there. Everyone's like, who's they got cameras on this kid? John was telling me all about it, but so that was great. And
so they have to sign off, because obviously you got kids that are on the team, off the team. Did they kind of did you guys have to let the student population know, or hey, we're going to be filming a documentary about the basketball team?
The school all had to come together, so there wasn't anything specifically we had to fill out per se, but there was definitely the school admin with including the athletic director. He kind of took care of all that stuff. So when we came in, it was just kind of we had freedom to paint our own, masterpiece, as they would say. So we were creative. Originally we were just going to do videos, games, and then as we kind of started we were going to Saturday morning practices and kind of checking those out, and we were interviewing kids. We went in to do 4 episodes, and we ended up doing about 7 or 8 episodes when it was all said and done, because we felt like, man, we want to tell this story. We want to make sure that this story is, what we want it to be. And being our first documentary, it was kind of a lot of fun to just do what we needed to do. As I'm talking here, we literally had a mic drop. And I don't know if I should react to it or if I should keep going.
No, we have it on the video too. We'll have it on the video. We got to check these people out. I don't know what these people that had shows before me do, but they're trying to sabotage us, I guess. We can't let them be stopped. But that was the thing. So you kind of had the ability, you had a blank canvas in a way, you knew what you wanted to cover, but you didn't have a boundary per se. You could do it how you wanted to.
And we felt man, there were so many stories to tell. 4th consecutive state championship.
Good thing we have a guy who knows sound and mics and Mook.
He didn't even get nervous about it. I'd be like, what do I do?
The show goes on. He was on the road too.
I know. I was like, should I stop?
I knew he got it. I looked over. He's like, I got this.
But there was that story to tell, and then Coach Walsh was going for his 7th state championship, which I think ties a record or is his own record in itself. Tie, right? And then you had a kid like Matt Gaffney who got a full ride to the Naval Academy, played Division I basketball. So there were a lot of cool stories to tell, and then obviously as you got in the program, you realize, man, there's depth on this team. There's a lot of young kids that play, that contribute, that are major factors. Yeah. So it was just fun to be like, oh, we didn't know this about this program. We didn't know that, we met these, an idea just kept flowing in. So we had an idea, but as we met kids in the program and as we kind of felt it out, our favorite video was when they played CM. I have never seen in any high school sport, including football, defensive domination that I saw when they played CM the second time. I mean, it was just like, and they pressed them and they couldn't get open, and it was causing turnovers and quick transitions the other way. I mean, it was incredible. It was incredible to watch. I'm a defensive guy, so it was a little bit more fun putting that together, watching a great,
defense wins championships.
That was it, and so to cover this team, to cover this program, I'm glad we were able to show what goes on there, because like I said, I personally have never seen a program run that efficiently and is that close to a college program at the high school level that I saw it like they did.
Well, I got to say, I got to premise this with this. I haven't seen the full ending yet, but I could tell, leading up to that, you obviously were filming, there, and you're in the emotion, but I mean, what was that like? Obviously, it wasn't great, right? It wasn't. But you wanted to do it justice, and you wanted to do it respectfully. So that was all the kind of things.
That was the hardest part. I think when we both got back in the car, we're like, "How are we gonna finish this off?" Because we just kind of from what we saw all year, and we just assumed what we thought the ending might be.
How we do this respectfully without causing, because obviously there were moments there that are pretty sensitive. Kids are going through it, right?
Yeah. There were some great individual plays in that game, but John, I'll give John all the credit on this. Actually, John was just like, "What if we just keep the highlights out of the game and just show maybe a couple times that their opponent actually transitioned and scored, and then kind of go like a blank screen Sopranos-esque, and then all of a sudden it kind of is the end of the game, and." At first, I was like, "Oh, no highlights," but then when I thought about it too, I'm like,
"They're not going to remember anything. Anything about that game is not going to be a good memory."
Anything I show of that game. So we got on the bus with them. We went there with them. We were in the locker room with them. We were warm-ups with them. Kids doing their.
They're going to be like, "Hey, look at that 3 I shot. We still lost by X."
Yeah, and to kind of then at the end, we kind of did like a montage of all our B-roll stuff of them like at practice, kids laughing, kids goofing around, the coaches with them, like them winning games, dunks, team huddles, and we just kind of flashed and went through to basically wrap it up of showing everything that we've done with that program. And we felt it was a pretty good ending for a tough loss.
In that aspect, you could kind of almost go kind of like what they did with the Fab Five when they lost their second national title game.
Yeah, the timeout.
Not the time like they got them, the walk back to the locker room. The emotions on the bench, and it kind of like
that's right. That was their second loss. I forgot about that.
Yeah. The second time around, because like you said, it's kind of when in that situation you kind of just don't. You kind of have to pick and choose what you want to put in there, just so you don't want to.
But man, I mean,
but see, as when you're a filmmaker, like that's like the best part about being a filmmaker, though.
Right.
When you got a
documentaries more especially, because you're dealing with real moments of people's lives and how you you want to capture it, you want to honor it, you want to do it justice.
And you're doing the service too by showing. You got to show the good and the bad.
Right. Not everything's perfect.
Yeah, not everything perfect, and that's kind of like. That's kind of like what could sum up like the ending of the season is like we almost had it, but just sometimes
it's hard to get. It's hard to get there, and it's hard to win.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in that case, and the kids will look at that, maybe not right away, they may not want to watch that part, but they will. And I think as I said to you when you posted, I said you created memories, you created something that they'll always have, and that's the beauty of whether you're doing what you're doing on Beyond Podcast, After the Whistle. You always highlight seniors and have teams on. I mean, I think that we're creating, you create memories that they can keep, and it's special.
Yeah, and I'm sure all those players will look back at that season and like, we didn't win it, but it was one hell of a ride, though.
Right.
It was a hell of a ride. Because even going back to the Oliver Ames game, when they pulled that out and it looked like they weren't going to pull it out, but they showed the heart of a champion in pulling that one out against a really good team to win it in overtime. So
and they were. I mean, at one point they were down 21. With maybe like a minute and a half left in the second quarter. And they got it down to 14 at halftime. And I go, God, they started turning on the Jets. Here we go. Because when I've seen them, when they come out in the second half, they are like, they are so much better of a team, and that's most of the time because Coach Walsh makes great adjustments or gets in there and tells them what's up. Like, this is how you're playing. This is how you need to be playing. He is not afraid to tell them that, and you see a different team in the second half. But yeah, they came out in the second half and just. Yeah, not the Malden Catholic I was used to seeing playing in the second half of the game.
Yeah, well, hey man, again, it's that's basketball. I mean, there's a lot of there's only one team. Only one team goes home with the win. You know what I mean?
And there's a lot of pressure with that too. We go to their games. There's a ton of people there with cameras and filming stuff.
Sure.
These kids.
There was a lot of pressure on those kids.
I think they felt it a little bit.
Yeah. And we also, as you said, we ought to remember these are teenagers too.
Right, they're young kids.
They're kids. But,
absolutely.
And at some point, sometimes you just got to tip your hat to the opponent because, like I said, Somerset Berkeley, the way they were playing defense that game, I just was amazed at how they just. A week later, I still can't believe they took Matt out the game. They just made him. I still can't believe that a player like that was made a non-factor. Yeah. He looked normal for once.
He did. He really did. It's perfect.
Well, hey, you know what I mean? That's only going to help him in his development too, as he evolves and he goes to the Naval Academy. And
today, watching him at the Prep versus Public thing, he's like, "Oh yeah, that's the Matt I know."
There you go. There you go. Well, we got exciting things too because we're gonna, let's talk a little bit about your future game. Do we want to bring that up yet?
Yeah, we got an all-star game coming. We're going to be working on. We just have to meet with Corey Bingham this week. Okay. We got to find a date.
Well, we're going to have 5 count involved and all in Sports Huddle.
Man. Last year was pretty good. We had a good turnout last year.
The podcast might need to show up.
Yeah, I know they might need to show. We're going to have some Malden Catholic players on there, but yeah, we're going to set a date. I'm going to figure out a date. Hopefully,
we need any music. We need anything. You got that under control?
Hey, if you want to help and volunteer, we welcome everybody.
There we go. Hey, let us know.
We have a site, though. We have a site, Lynn Tech.
It's going to be at Lynn Tech.
It'll be at Lynn Tech.
Nice.
It'll be at Lynn Tech. Coach Corey Bingham.
Corey Bingham? He's going to be coaching one of the teams?
No.
Oh, he's just going to help us with the...
He's going to help
with the facility?
He's going to help with the facility like he did last year. The athletic director is a really good person, a really good guy. He kind of opens it up. So
that's great.
Yeah, once we figure that out, I'll let you know. But yeah, we're going to have an all-star game. We're going to do one. We're going to do it this year. We're going to have seniors only that'll kind of close it out.
Gotcha.
We'll have a girls game, and then we're going to have like an underclassmen game. So that one will be like North Shore in Merrimack.
Okay.
So we'll talk to our guy from Chico Summer. He's going to get the Merrimack guys.
Okay.
All right. We'll figure out the North Shore guys.
We got some people in the Merrimack Valley. We're here in the Valley, so.
Hey, Irvin Zapata from Lawrence. He plays at Georgetown, but he's from Lawrence.
Okay.
That young man can shoot the ball.
Yes, he can.
He can shoot the ball, but.
Yes, he's a senior?
No, he's a junior. He'll be back. He'll be back.
Oh, he should be part of that game then.
Yeah, he's going to be. I'm making this week.
You're making a list.
I'm making a list of players I'm going to reach out to.
Okay.
Both underclassmen and seniors. So
we'll be promoting that before the game. We'll be promoting that before the game.
If
maybe the week before. And
if you want to come and do a show over there, you can too. If you want.
Hey, we'll see. We gotta. We gotta get our remote team. We gotta get our remote team solid here.
I'll tell you, Lynn Tech got one of the best facilities in the area.
Yeah, they've done a nice job with that place. And when you see in that field, those fields when those are done out there, those are gonna be great. So
yeah, they do. Yeah, the Lynn Tech's doing a good thing. But yeah, if you're They got a great facility there. They could a lot of space too. So
cool.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna play a couple songs. We're gonna come back, finish it up here, but we're gonna talk more about what Anthony's got going on for the spring, what Mukala's got going on for the spring. The big question is it lacrosse? All right, is it lacrosse?
We gotta get Anthony an Emmy for this documentary.
Yeah.
We gotta get him one of those Boston Emmys.
There we go.
The Screen Actors might be calling some of these kids soon.
Hey, man.
Hey, we're going to get in this track. I'm going to shout out my guy, Feed the Evolutionist, Terminology, Brady Watt, DJ Met. This track is yes. Yeah. Check this track out. It's called Props. You're listening to the All in Huddle. We'll be back in a few. Hey everybody, you tired of listening to all this great music and hosts and talking that we're doing on Wave Radio Boston on your tiny little phone speaker? Well, fret no more because our streaming partner Live 365 has partnered with Apple TV, Roku TV, Samsung TV, Fire TV, and Android TV to allow full stereo listening. Just head over to your TV's app store and search for Live 365 and download it. Once you've got it, just search for Wave Radio, one word, Boston, lock it in, and rock it out. And I use it all the time when I'm at home. It's really cool listening to the great music and shows that we got here on Wave Radio. Thanks for listening. So, hey, we're back here on the All-In Huddle, and a little Camp Low instrumental there. We played some great songs on that. That was, we played Feed the Evolutionist, Brady Watt, DJ Myth, Props. Then we had to get a little back to the days with Gangstar just to get a rep. Then we played Gangstar Original, Suge, Big Suge with M-Dot, Unexpected, and then we finished it off with Grand Agent out of Philly called Guns Are for Cowards. So we're just wrapping up the show here. We want to make sure that we let people know what's next for these gentlemen, and my guy here to my left, Anthony Petrelis, has some exciting things going on in the spring. But you also wanted to give a shout out to someone that was been on the show, and let's talk about the apparel company.
Yeah, so I just had a guest on, Mackenzie Mallett, former graduate of Salem State School, captain of the girls hockey team, women's hockey team, excuse me. But she was on the podcast. She has this really cool clothing brand that is called Retired Athletes Club. It was established in 2023, so a couple of years ago, but she was on talking about it, and I know she's linking up with a lot of high schools. We've kind of talked a little bit about helping her out with that, and getting into like senior nights or graduations, and those kids that don't go on and play collegiately, they're officially retired from the sport, or as the kids call it, washed up. Yeah, so
I know that's funny how they're like literally 18 and they're like, yeah, I'm washed up. I'm like, bro, what am I if you're washed up?
So I wanted to give her a shout out because I think it's a great idea. I think she's really onto something. I have one of her hoodies. I wear it everywhere. It's comfortable. And so I wanted to give her a shout out because I know what it's like. We've all been there when you start, from the bottom and make your way up. So
very cool.
I want to help out in between there. So that's nice.
Yeah. And let's talk about
plans
big
wise.
deal, because we've kind of, both of us have kind of made some changes. We were doing a lot with the Pirates. Wish them all well. They had lost their first game Friday night, tough one against Jacksonville. But we're doing our own things. We'll probably have these guys in studio, maybe on your show. I know some guys that I know we were talking about some guys maybe coming on.
Yeah, Guy Thomas
down the road, Guy Thomas, and I'd love to have Sal Lipoli Jr. come in, tell his story a little bit. But why don't we talk about the Boston Glory?
The Glory, yeah. So, the big reason why I'm not doing a lot of work with the Pirates this year is I accepted a full-time gig with the Glory as a full-time MC for their game. So I will tell you,
which is Ultimate Frisbee.
Yeah, Ultimate Frisbee, incredible athletes. I mean, their team last year, they got this guy named Jeff Babb and league MVP.
Is that the guy that's Gronk? The Gronk
I was just gonna say the Gronk of Ultimate Frisbee. He's unbelievable. He's a big dude.
He wears 87. Mookie wears 87.
He wears 87.
Well.
Yeah. And he's, we talk about some of the athletes who cover with big plays. Every big play that the Glory was involved in last year, he was somehow involved in it, whether it was offensively, defensively. He won league MVP for a second consecutive year. So that speaks volumes. But this is a team that is supposed to be loaded. They brought on guys from other squads that have come and joined the Boston Glory. You read their write-up. I mean, the UFL, they've given them an A+ in their offseason. And what they've acquired is the team that has championship aspirations. I was able to MC their playoff game last year, their first ever home playoff game, and I guess did a pretty good job, and said if the job was there, I would love it, and it was fun. You're on the mic, you get to freestyle with a lot of stuff and meet people and contests.
And those games are actually in Medford, right?
So they're at Hormel Stadium, and I will say 1,000 to 2,000 people. I mean, that playoff game was over 2,000 people, but they packed that stadium up there pretty good.
They do have anything for the adults? Any beverage areas, special areas for the kids?
What is it that they have? They have a brewery that's there. I'll think of it when I'm not thinking of it. I'm sure, but they do have. They have
things for the kids and the families.
Night Shift Brewery.
Ooh, Night Shift shows up.
Brewery. That's
very nice.
Night Shift Brewery. I heard.
Yeah, Night Shift.
Yeah. So they serve beers there. They do it upright. They do with the space they have. They do a great job with it. And it's an organization that I think is a league that seems to be on the up and up.
And what's the league? It's the
UFL. Yeah,
the Ultimate Frisbee League.
Yeah.
And how approximately do they? Is it East Coast, West Coast?
So there's 4 different divisions all across across the different regions of the
Right.
state, basically like the four corners. And then I believe every year the Final Four is held in Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's a big thing. They make it a
Hey,
big
so you
thing.
may be going to Salt Lake if
Hey,
it all
listen,
works out.
if it does and they want me there, being a hype man, that's what I'll do.
That's great, yeah. So you're not going to be doing like the coverage that you normally see on Beyond Podcast is going to be more shifted to you being the MC. Will you still be doing some?
So we'll still do some Beyond stuff. We're doing a documentary with Medford High School baseball right now, and that's something that's great. We love it because it's local for us. But the documentary stuff was great this season with Malden Catholic, boys basketball. I think we were a little spoiled, obviously, as well. But to be able to follow a team and follow athletes and kind of see how a team progresses, and being able to tell a story about coaches or players or the program, or in being able to put those videos together. Something about making a documentary this year is a route that we want to go. So we had that set up with Medford baseball, and we have a bunch of senior nights already, some big games or regular season games in lacrosse, softball that we've already been reached out to. So we'll have a decent busy schedule, but yeah, between the documentary and
allow you to do what you want to and focus on what you want to focus on.
Yeah, the spring's nice like that.
Yeah. How about you, Muka? So are we going to see the same energy and same amount of games covered in lacrosse on those blistery, windy spring fields?
They told me they'll let me know. The players told me they'll let me know about the rivalry games. They told me to come to the rivalry games. Okay. I might pop up in a couple of games. But baseball, like I said, I'm going to pop up in the rivalry games.
Okay. So there's nothing like, the energy, because obviously football, basketball, you go straight, man. You go right into it. I mean, so there's a little bit of downtime for you.
A little bit. I mean, I'm gonna be working with some AAU programs.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. We had some conversations about AAU.
Yeah. I'm gonna be working with some programs.
No, but then when I say AAU, I mean, look, development is what these kids are doing, and I think there's some really good AAU programs.
There is.
Who are you gonna be working with, if you don't mind me asking?
I honestly forgot the name.
Oh, that's okay.
It's with who's the head coach for Cathedral. He has a program. He has one, and then there's another one. I got it right here, actually.
You're not working with Tony Gallo, are you?
No, with the New England Scouting Network, I believe.
Oh, okay.
That's what, they're gonna be.
So you're gonna be doing events. You'll be doing
events.
You'll be at events and kind of point.
Yeah, they want me to there get film some games, interview players, so normal stuff I be doing. So
there you go, right? Might as well, right?
Yeah,
no one knows the hardwood like my guy Mook over here.
Yeah, I need to get into the EYBL stuff though. So those type of age.
All right, so hey, anybody? Let's go. Anybody out there?
Yeah, Nike.
Overtime.
Nike.
Maybe overtime elite.
Overtime Nike. Hit me up, man.
Let's go.
Bring you some content. Get some content for myself too.
How we liking the Celtics right now? Do we want to do some Celtics
They just
talk?
picked up a dub over there against Portland. Yeah.
So they did it back to back, right? Or was that today?
No, they played. Yeah, they played today.
They played today.
They played on Friday. They won. They're on their last West Coast
That's
road
gotta
trip.
be a tough trip, man. They're playing some booty teams too.
Get those dubs, man. Rack those wins up. I think they're ready. The way they're doing it with some of their players, setting them out there, positioning themselves ready for the playoff push. Brown hasn't played. Porzingis played Friday. Sat him down.
Can
today.
Porzingis stay healthy, man?
Well, the way how they've been handling him this year, they're gonna have him healthy for the playoff run. So we just knock on wood that he stays healthy because
he's a huge part of it.
He is the X factor.
He really is, man.
He's the answer that nobody has an answer for.
I just always worried about his health. But you know what I mean? If they're able to use him like they did, in the playoffs last year and in the championships, I mean, I think they have a good chance again to repeat.
I think the man's Celtics fans are like, people in general that root for the Celtics, they're so spoiled.
Spidey Mitchell.
He doesn't. The Cavs strike. Well, for me personally, the Cavs don't pose any type of threat. I don't think, to me, because when your two best players are like 6'3" and below, Evan Mobley should be the guy you run your offense through, but they don't do that. And Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are both 6'7" and above, and Porzingis too. And then you add Al Horford. with his experience. Like,
And then we got and then you got
you can't go tight.
And then you got Pritch, please.
Yeah, you got that.
Yeah, I like that.
Pritch, please.
Pritch, please.
Pritch, please.
I just think I just think the Celtics are just they're just trying to get to the playoffs healthy so then they could defend that title.
Now, are you doing the Sam Hauser event? Are you in town?
Yeah, April 14th. Yeah.
Let's talk about that. I want to.
Yeah.
And can you bring some friends?
Yeah. Yeah, so I work with the company Elite Promotions. Nick, he's great there. And yeah, so every so often he'll reach out to me and, for an event. We've covered Isaiah Thomas there before, which I thought was a really cool one.
Is it the bowling one that he used to
No,
do?
it's at, he does all the signs at the Kowloon. Yeah, the Kowloon.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Don't give me a reason why to go get Kowloon anyway. Now I can go see Sam Hauser and hang out. But it's an event that it's an event where you get autographs and
the whole nine. Some people buy specialty VIP packages so they get to come in the back and meet them a little beforehand. But they do like a music bingo or some theme bingo that they have a DJ. It's a lot of fun. It's like 2-3 hours long. They do a great job moving people through, and they got Peyton Pritchard before. Peyton Pritchard was Pritch please, right? But they got him last year and we covered that event. So we do a lot of stuff with them, and he's a great guy, and we're lucky to kind of.
One thing about this group of Celtics players, they are definitely all in the community.
Yeah.
No, they are.
And that's
great, man.
Jalen
Jaylen Brown doesn't get enough credit for what he does. I was talking, Corey McCarthy, our guy Corey was in before. Corey was talking about how he actually helped them with I think he did a lot with their program for the esports.
Oh yeah.
He helped them with esports, and he helped them. He's helping them with other parts of that student support services.
Yeah, and I think there was a group of students that were able to get on the duck boats during the parade.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think
Man.
I think it was part of that program he has. Jaylen Brown has. So there was a lot of
cool.
kids from the Boston area.
That's
that were
great,
able
man.
to be part of the parade.
That's what it's all about. Well, hey guys, we're gonna wrap up the show, but I want to thank you guys for coming in as always.
Oh yeah.
And,
Also check. I got an interview with the Lady Spartans, St. Mary's Lady Spartans. That's gonna be coming out this week.
State champions.
Yeah, the state champs. I had the whole team in with Coach Newhall.
Coach Newhall.
Yeah, they were in there. So that's dropping at the end of the week.
Okay,
So
and again, let's make sure people know where to find you, man. Because where they find you, where can they find Mukala Kabungo on all the social media platforms?
Mukala_K, Twitter and Instagram. LCTV After the Whistle on Instagram. YouTube. Just type in my name, Mukala, Mukala. You'll find me there. And yeah, we got some stuff there. My interview with Rashidi Ellis, the local boxer. That just went up on Friday, so make sure you check that out. And happy to have some more interviews.
And what do you have going on? Yeah, that's great. What do you have going on, Anthony? Just getting ready, doing any special interviews coming up or anything?
Yeah, like I said, we just had a retired athletes club. I'm actually having on. I covered Royal Crown Wrestling the other night, so we have a few wrestlers coming on.
Nice.
Kind of talk about the indie circuit a little bit and how that how life is like that. So we're excited. Yeah, we're excited.
Before you get out of here, how do you feel about John Cena going heel?
Well overdue. I mean, it's tough, for years you wanted it, right? Yeah. And now they gave you the shock factor of kind of really giving it to you like that. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's a short-lived thing. I think we'll see it. I mean, I can't see Cena going out on his back as a bad guy when he's been a good guy for so long, right? But I love it, dude. I love it.
People were trying to compare it to when Hulk Hogan went heel.
It's comparable. Hogan was like
that was a whole different thing.
God,
yeah.
I still get chills about that.
But I think it's great because John is obviously he's everybody's hero and this and that. He's like, nah, what? I'm just in it for myself, right? He's just gotta go get it.
It's a great gimmick. I mean, they've been doing great writing since they've kind of changed things up a little bit. So
especially having The Rock there with him and his final boss thing.
That's incredible.
That is hilarious, but it is incredible.
Yeah.
Him walking around with that belt, just tormenting Cody Rhodes for the past year and a half.
Says whatever he wants.
Right.
It's just
I
funny,
didn't know.
dude.
See, I didn't know we got some wrestling fans. I didn't know Mukala was into the wrestling.
I keep up. I'm not into it as I used to, but I definitely keep up. I try to.
It's on Netflix now, Raw, and so it's nice to watch that stuff.
I was on Netflix a week ago, and I saw they had so many old Raw episodes episodes on there. So I was going back to watching raw episodes from 1993, all that 2000.
That was an incredible deal. I mean, WWE striked out with Netflix. You know, they had their
like everything.
They had their own. Well, they had their own. Yeah, I remember. I signed for it. They were streaming matches. Yep. The WWE network. Yep.
Shout out to Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Heartbreak Kid.
Yeah.
We're going to end the show. But before I end the show, where can people find you?
At Instagram @_Beyond Podcast. YouTube, I think it's Beyond Podcast 6922, but like same thing. Just type in my name and everything will pop up. And
episode 200 coming up soon.
Yeah, we're at 1, so we just
episode 200.
So we got it lined up. I think the next 3 months we're just gonna grind it out and we're gonna bang out 22 episodes. And the goal was 2025. We taped our 100th episode on July 23, and we said we'll be back in the studio 2 years to this month of having 200 episodes. So we're almost there. It was July when we taped our 100th. So we're close. We're
close.
Right on it.
There you go. Yeah. That's great, man. I want to be at that party. That's going to be a good time.
We're gonna have it open studio. We'll talk about it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, folks, hey, always good having you listening. Or in this case, we'll play stream. We doing some special things with the reels, and maybe doing this once in a while now. But hey, we're gonna wrap this up with a talented dude from Boston. His name is Leroy Street.
Patriots need to get Travis Hunter.
We'll
talk about that next show.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah, because now it's time to talk draft. But Leroy Street, dude came on Hybrid Theory, our show on Tuesdays a couple weeks ago. Just released the album, no YouTube beats. But this song right here came out a couple weeks ago. He put it on a cool little app that allowed people could pay what they wanted for it. But check this out as we walk out of here. This song is called Downtown. Leroy Street. Hey, have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next time. Great job, guys.
That was great.
Show.
Downtown.
Great show.
Y'all know what it is. It's getting cold, but it's hot at the same time. I'm talking about. Yeah. Hey. Downtown, Back Bay. What you say? Lolita's at the bar trying my day. Downtown, North End. She a 10. Had a double check before I let her in. Downtown, Back Bay. What you say? Lolita's at the bar trying my day. Downtown, North End. She a 10. Had a double check before I let her in. She don't like attention, so I bring her to the back. A couple shots of Casamigos with a bottle of the yak. Keep it player when I'm out, so she know just where I stand. I got dreams, I got goals, and I'm sticking to the plan. I ain't never sold drugs, I ain't never did a bid. I ain't never seen a cell, still ain't fucking with the kids. Yeah, wasn't always lit, now she call me cutie pie. And your girl waved to me when she see me drive by. You a joke, I'm the bear that you don't wanna poke. Caught up in your lies, I know that that you done spoke, blowing smoke. Ain't no shame in saying that you broke. Real man, that card ain't got revoked. 2024, I'm in 2025. All that you went through and all the times that you done cried. All the lies you was told, all the secrets.
All right, folks, I hope you all enjoyed that special episode of the In Sports Huddle with Joe Dub. He's the host of the In Sports Huddle every Sundays on Wave Radio Boston, 7 to 9 p.m. Make sure you follow him on the In Sports Huddle Instagram page, all that good stuff. Also, Anthony Petrelis, make sure you follow the Beyond Podcast. Go on the YouTube to check out their documentary on the Malden Catholic Boys basketball team and all that good stuff. I hope you all enjoyed. I'm Mukala signing out. Have a good one, folks.